So now, having looked at the actual article that's done by Ghassan Salibi in النهار newspaper on the 9th of December 2023 at 10 a.m., I will give you now straight away a kind of translation which I did not produce fully in the previous video because of the time. Now, I would say Western human rights and Arab human existence by Ghassan Salibi, النهار newspaper on the 9th of December 2023, 10 a.m. 10th December of this year marks the International Human Rights Day, carrying with it, as it were, a fundamental amendment in its charter or its literature. It is as if Article 1 of the Declaration was amended to be as follows. Of course, I'm going to actually, the quotation, as I said in my earlier video, I will keep them mostly as they were in the UN website. All human beings except Palestinians, which is added by the actual author here of the article, are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood or in a fraternal spirit. It is as if Article 2 followed Article 1 and stated that everyone, except Palestinians again, is entitled to all rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration or set forth herewith or hereto, without distinction. Instead of distinction, we should say without discrimination of any kind, such as race, color, sex. We should use gender instead of sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin. They said property, I would say for wealth, as a tharwa, we would say wealth and birth or other status. Furthermore, no distinction, I would say no discrimination, shall be made on the basis of political, judicial or international status, jurisdictional or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it's independent, trust, non-self-governing. I would say autonomous, independent or autonomous, self-governing, autonomous country, or not, as I said before, have a mandate on that country, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. And then this is not only the impression he's saying, this is the author saying, this is not the impression one gets, but the painful truth which becomes, let me just say, deeply rooted in the consciousness of the Arab public opinion. This truth started to grow in an accelerating pace in the Western public opinion's milieu. This was the consequence of a genocide war launched by Israel against the Palestinian people in Gaza, with, of course, there's the hash. You have to put hash before Israel and Gaza, amid complete silence and collusion of the Western countries or governments, where the International Declaration of Human Rights was first established. It's known that the meaning given to any text will be influenced to a great deal by its source. When the view has changed towards the source, then the view to its content would change as well. It is not easy to convince someone to adhere to the words issued by a party which contradict with their actions, whose words contradict with their actions. This is just like what Jesus tried to explain when he said to Pharisees, practice and observe everything they tell you, but do not do as they do. The specificity of human rights is that they have no exception, i.e., it includes everybody. It is deeply entrenched in everyone, or deeply rooted in everyone. It is also universal and unadaptable, or unmendable, shall we say. There is no exception. That is, any exception, if it occurs, then it affects the foundation, the very foundation of that declaration, and makes the entire structure or building collapse and loses its whole meaning. Talking about human rights was not initiated with the International Declaration in 1948, nor with the Declaration of the Right of Man and the Citizen in 1789. Their philosophy was formed well before these two declarations. They were not related exclusively to the status of the citizen. In the 16th century, the talk about human rights emerged along the exploration of Red Indians and the start of the blacks from Africa transported to the West as slaves. So the notion of human rights came about to object to the treatment of these people, or peoples, whether they were under occupation or slavery. However, how similar it is Israel's treatment of the Palestinian people to that of the white people, of the Red Indians and the blacks, but with Israel surpassing them in its maltreatment, in that Israel has coupled the practices of occupation and with those of racial discrimination or apartheid. I think I have done now a translation of what I discussed in the previous video, showing you how you need to do the translation. So I would suggest in this video to look at the previous video and see the Arabic in the previous video, and then follow what I have just given you as a translation, or as a side translation if you like, of what's been discussed in the previous video about translating from Arabic into English. This article, or this opinion by one of the journalists in the newspaper there. So that is really what you do. You need to prepare first these quotations, as I told you in the previous video, and then provide a translation of this. I hope that everybody will put these two videos, this video and the previous videos, together so that they can see the Arabic and the English. I mean, I can show you the Arabic on the computer, but the problem is I have to turn the camera, and it's very difficult to see how it is. But I discussed it in the previous, so you can go back to the video before and look at the English, look at the Arabic, and how I analyzed it and analyzed certain words. And I've applied it this time. Have a nice day.